voice. I have a voice. Here it is. Okay. So I started writing this poem during a time in my life where I was struggling a lot with mental health and I was having trouble seeing myself as a whole person because I felt so broken in so many ways. So I think the character of the Shadowgirl kind of represents a person who has forgotten how to see themselves. Like they just see themselves the way that the world sees them, and they see all of the darkness and the struggle and the brokenness, but they've really forgotten who they are in that feeling. So I think that we get to have a choice in how we see ourselves and the name that we call ourselves and how we talk about ourselves and to ourselves. So the Shadowgirl is about choosing hope. She's choosing to call herself a child of the light and not a shadow girl, even though that might be how she feels. It's about fighting that with truth. She was a hazy silhouette of what was once a human soul. A pretty shape cast on the pavement. Every day she played a role. Inside this circus tent of dark and light, her world began to spin, her very bones wrapped up in shadows like a puppet on a string. No one would ever want to see the tear-stained face behind the name. She tried to lock her pain away, but darker still her life became, until she finally fooled the world to think that nothing lay beneath this cardboard cutout of a person fabricated by her grief. But did she even really fool them? Or was she the one deceived? For lies have ways of bouncing back until they find themselves believed. Now, when she stared into her mirror, she saw scars and nothing else. She was a living pantomime, an imitation of herself. With every smile and every dance, she walked a tightrope as it frayed, because she feared the way they'd scorn her if she killed the masquerade. Each day she fought against an enemy that no one else could see, who told her dark and lost and dead inside was all she'd ever be. But there was more than she'd been told. A battle cry that lived within. And when the moment was just right, the Shadowgirl would shed her skin. She was not doomed to disappear as shifting lights would fade away, for she was made of stronger stuff than momentary cabaret. There was a fire inside her veins, born of the song that gave her birth, composed before the dawn of time and echoed through the fractured earth. These words were carved beneath her ribcage, pressed between each trembling breath, a seal of hope that marked her birthright to break free from living death. She'd never tried to find the music, but she knew it nonetheless. It pealed within her very bones and kept its rhythm in her chest. She'd sing this anthem of survival till her lamp burned brighter still. She'd find a way to keep on breathing, though she scarcely had the will. Perhaps her shattered heart was not a flaw she had to fight to hide. It was a glorious stained glass window illuminated from inside. Perhaps the song she sang by candlelight to cast away her fear could be the song another bleeding soul would someday need to hear. She'd claim the voice the night had stolen. Every day she lived to fight, and never call herself the Shadowgirl, but child of the light.